how can I put this question? How would you say that men need to open to their hero's journey in that sense and thrive and not
Yeah,
stay stuck in that culture of conformism in their sofa playing video games, for example?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, what I often that if we look at the kind of mythology of the hero's journey, what leads a man to like set out on his journey of growth, or maybe sometimes it's healing, is often some kind of pain or difficulty, right? There's a wound that he experiences, and some men get that early on in life. Some men it doesn't come until middle age. Oftentimes, men will find their way into doing the work. Usually, the pain shows up in like the ending of a relationship or something. That usually reveals a lot, especially if it's 2 or 3 relationships into a man's life. He realizes, oh wait, some of these things seem familiar. Some of these patterns have shown up, and I'm I'm humble enough, and my heart is broken enough that I'm willing to look at them. And I think the first place to be willing to get uncomfortable, I mean, there's so many places, right? But number one, be willing to feel the pain, because the pain is a messenger. And when I talk about comfort, I speak to the ways that I see men and women do this. We try to numb the pain. We try to avoid it. We try to not really feel it. And so we'll use different things like, alcohol and, certain substances and food and social media and pornography to avoid feeling something that is really there potentially as a gift for us. But because we avoid it, we miss the gift. And so number one, you do have to be courageous. And number two, you also have to be humble. And that humility is a space where learning and growth can happen. And I think that one of the big vulnerable pieces for men that most men don't do is the vulnerability of asking for help, asking for support. I think one of the great follies of modern male culture is, acting like we've got this all handled, like I got this, like I don't need help. And so that creates this isolation, and the isolation just fuels shame and all these other things that keep us looped in around the story of whatever we're telling ourselves about ourselves, and it keeps us stuck. And then we go to these substances or whatever to avoid it, and it's just this vicious cycle. So courage, humility, vulnerability, and I think support is really a crucial ingredient in that challenge piece, because often most people struggle to challenge themselves, even when it comes to like trying to create new habits or change. Subconsciously, most people will experience resistance, like say, I want to exercise every day because I know that makes me feel better, but there's this subconscious part of us that's really just this part of us that's habituated around certain ways of being, and it wants us to stay there just because it's easy, it's the easy route. And so challenge invites us to not do what's easy, but to have a new possibility, and any new possibility is going to be a little bit uncomfortable. And it's hard. It's hard to do that alone. You know, it's hard to do that without structure for anybody. You know, like very, very few people are just born with like discipline, and they can just get shit done when they want to get it done without distraction or whatever. So that's why I love community too. You know, it's like men can support each other to say like, hey, I really want to start my own business. That's uncomfortable. I really want to, you know, ask a woman out. That's really uncomfortable. I really want to lose 20 pounds. That's uncomfortable. I really want to ... So there's all kinds of places of growth and potential. And I think it really supports men to have an environment of challenge, because I think part of the masculine nature, it might come with testosterone, is there's a little competitiveness in that, you know, and we can see how competitiveness can be used negatively, where it's just sort of, you know, feeding some egoic structures, but it can also be used constructively to achieve our goals, or to live our life purpose, or to, you know, become more emotionally intelligent, whatever it is that we value. And I think there's something that I see in men that kind of turns on when we invite that challenge. Like there's this razor's edge that we sharpen in men's community, that is a real gift. And I think it's missing in a lot of modern masculine culture in a healthy way. You know, I see a lot of men using challenge as sort of like a way of jibing each other in like a sarcasm kind of way. But I think we can bring that challenge through love in a way that helps each other to transform into that higher self, or that true essence.